Is there anything I could say today that would change your mind?
I'm just asking your opinion.
I'm asking you a question.
Probably not, because I actually read and study.
I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking
We
stuff
may
like
have
that,
to
which is
rename
bad,
this show
but-
because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Jubilee Media, I'm tired of you. More importantly, Jason Wiley, I'm more tired of you. Hey everyone, I'm Olivia. Nice to meet you. Welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about Jubilee Media. If you don't know what Jubilee Media is, it was founded in 2010, I believe, if I have my facts correct. And it started out with Jason Wiley, this man, busking in the subway for money for Haiti after they had a big earthquake. And he started as kind of like almost a charity-esque organization, YouTube. And in 2016, he just realized that he needed to be the savior. This is going to be a diss on Jason Wiley. I don't like you as a person. I know I don't know you, but based on every single piece of content I've seen with you in it, I don't like you. I don't like the way you think. I don't like the way that you put content out on the internet without actually thinking of how this might affect the political and economic state of the world. And I, more importantly, don't like that you think that you are holier than thou. Like, genuinely, watching his interviews, he makes me really frustrated. He is one of those people where he has a punchable face. Remember Ajit Pai? How everyone's like, he has a really punchable face. Jason Wiley has a punchable face to me. And I want to discuss him as a whole because there is a petition going around right now talking about they want to demonetize Jubilee Media. Guys, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you want to know why? One of his main investors is the founder of YouTube, the co-founder of YouTube. It's not going to happen. His investors have big stakes in a lot of like media companies. It's not going to happen. Regardless if he gets demonetized on YouTube, he'll be fine. They're still going to profit off of this bullshit ass content. And you want to know what? If they get demonetized, imagine the effects of that. Okay, fuck it. Hats off. Let's go crazy. The content's gonna get worse, guaranteed. And Jason Lee, like, I know that's another person, but I'm gonna call him Jason Lee because I don't want to keep putting the Y in there. Jason Lee, you are not a good person. Because here's the thing. Taylor Lorenz, this is the interview that really pissed me off, was the one with Taylor Lorenz, and she straight up asked him, how do you feel about promoting bigots? And he was like, well, if my shirt is red and your shirt is red, that means that we probably don't always agree. And we might agree, but like we might not. And if my shirt is pink and your shirt is red, that means we're opposite. And that doesn't always mean we're opposite. Shut the fuck up. She asked you a question and you're dodging it. Every interview where he's asked something a little bit on the edge of why do you feel comfortable with putting these people on your platform, he diverges. He goes down this path instead and somehow makes it an answer to the question that doesn't actually make sense. And also, on top of that, I would like to say, you not having a political stance is even more concerning for me. It sounds like, I wanted those tax cuts. Give me a tax cut because I make enough money to get a tax cut. That's what he sounded like to me when she asked him, what's your political affiliation? Because back in the day, when you were asked your political affiliation, it wasn't a big deal. And now the people that choose to hide it, I know who you voted for. You can stand on it. Like, if you're gonna be on that man's side, might as well stand on it. You know what I mean? There's no point in hiding. Don't act like one of us. Because he's this guy who's like, he's a little bit Christian, and y'all know my thoughts on that. And he's kind of like this, I just want to promote empathy. Please, I can't with you. You're rage baiting me. Like, please, just say what you believe in so we can understand where this content is coming from and how you have so much good faith in promoting people who are literal fascists. And the fact that there's no interjection, like that was one thing that he said in this interview too with Taylor Lorenz, and I'm going to be quoting it a lot because this interview was really telling on his character as a whole, is he was like, yeah, well, we can edit the videos. We can take stuff out. Why the fuck did you not take half that shit out in that last episode of Surrounded? You look like a bad person. You straight up do. I don't think you're a good person. And there's a special spot in hell for people who are just like willing to, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. I was getting a little bit upset, but he really angers me as a human being, and I'm not afraid to say that. Let's go into his casting department really quick too. Because his casting department, another thing he says in this goddamn interview, is that his casting goes through multiple rounds of interviews to make sure that the people that they are choosing aren't going to have harmful ideas. You thought Myron Gaines was a good person to have on Fit versus Fat? Someone who said he wants to put obese people in a concentration camp? Huh?
We call them morons, and we don't hold anybody accountable, and we allow mediocrity to strive in the West. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising.
I put all of them in a fat concentration camp.
Because being fat is completely not acceptable. Fat people bring a big burden. Cool, and it's all equality for everyone. No, that's not how the world works. Why the fuck should I be treated equally to someone who's fat, broke, not disciplined, and not as intelligent?
That's like saying, let me put Nick Fuentes on with Holocaust survivors and have them debate it out. Find the middle ground. It's not going to happen. That's insane. Your casting department is doing a terrible job, actually. Because the thing is that I find really jarring and bizarre about the people that they choose to cast is these aren't like normal people. This is like horseshoe end of the horseshoe. Like both ends of the horseshoe. You are talking to people who are either hella progressive or hella liberal and literally fascist Nazis. Like, that is not fun. You're not going to find the middle ground with these people. You are just clickbaiting. You are trying to clickbait. You're trying to rage bait. You are trying to earn money off of what these people have to say. And it's disgusting. And I don't like you. I don't like your casting department. Honestly, anyone that works for Jubilee Media, low-key, quit. Go find a new job. Like, you are not working for a good man. And I don't care if he's done favors for you. He is having an actual detriment to our society as a whole. And I want to talk about, before I really get into Jubilee's content and what I think about the content, I want to talk about the Overton window. And if you don't know what the Overton window is, it's pretty much like what is socially acceptable to talk about in our everyday discourse. An example for like social media, people talk about like porn and like really bad stuff that kids are seeing. So like total control that people would be like, no, that's too far to talk about, is government having complete control over our social media, over porn, over like anything quote unquote bad on the internet. Kind of a little bit more obscure to talk about, a little bit more radical, you'll say, is full censorship of social media through like, not the government necessarily, but through media companies. Okay, is regulating harmful content. That's kind of like, yeah, we can talk about this, but it's still a little bit more radical, is regulating all harmful content, because who are you to say it's harmful or not? And then yes, which is in the Overton window, and like we talk about this a lot, is like these age restrictions and content warnings. And then what's really popular to talk about, that's like kind of even leading on to the other side of the Overton window, is enforcing online safety standards, which I think some people would think is like too much, because let people be people, let people watch what they want to watch. They're adults, they can watch content online, and there should be age regulations on things, and kids shouldn't be on the internet if they're young anyways. But you see what I mean? Like, it's kind of this idea of what's too radical to talk about and what's openly acceptable to talk about. In Jubilee Media, by bringing these people who have these very insanely radical ideas onto their platform, you are shifting the Overton window of what is socially acceptable to talk about. Because one, you hear a really shocking thing and you're like, holy shit. It's really shocking at first, but then the next time you hear it, it's a little bit less shocking. And then a little bit less shocking. Remember when we were all seeing pictures of killed and half apart children in Gaza? And we were like, holy shit, this is not okay. And now it's just on our everyday newsfeed all the time. Like, it has become normalized. They are trying to desensitize us as a society. And I think that is what Jubilee Media is doing, is desensitizing us to these super radical ideas. And that's why I don't think he has our best interests at heart in general, because of this kind of desensitization of really harmful rhetoric that is just being spread. And going into this like idea of rage baiting content and clickbaiting politics especially, it's really frustrating to give everyone this thought that their idea needs to be talked about. Because, again, I'm going to bring up this fit versus fat one because I just recently rewatched this episode. It's like, you can have your opinions on fat people, but like those don't always need to be shared, because let's look at the majority of the population on the face of the United States. Obese is pretty high. People being a little bit overweight is like a normal thing. And so when you start spreading fat people suck, fat people are disgusting, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm a little bit fat actually. Am I disgusting? And have really low self-esteem now because you heard all of this rhetoric about how fat people are disgusting, lazy, and pieces of shit, even though you might be working hard, but you also have fucking 4 jobs that you have to live with. And like, you don't have the most time to like making sure you're eating exactly how you should and working out all the time and all this stuff. It's just like a perpetual spiral of kind of thought that is normalized, I'll say. And I also want to say, like, the flat, and I know every other fucking video about Jubilee brought this shit up about the flat earth versus the globe earthers. The globe earthers. One is scientifically proven and backed up and is objectively true. The other one is opinion. So you are debating, quote unquote. You're trying to find middle ground on fact versus opinion. And I think a lot of these debates surrounded all this stuff is fact versus opinion. And I'm trying to tell you fact, and I'm trying to have it like the anti-vaxxers versus Dr. Mike one. I remember watching that too and just being like dumbfounded by the way that these people are just straight up anti-doctor. They're not just anti-vax. These are the most extreme of the extreme. And these are people who don't trust the healthcare system at all and are projecting their fact, their conspiracies, their opinion, and their conspiracies as fact, and they're trying to portray that as fact. Well, I saw this one study that was done in 2020 with 10 people. That holds weight? Well, it actually doesn't, because there has been multiple studies over multiple years, and this has been a research topic that has been dealt with a while. And just because we can't see diseases that exist now doesn't mean vaccines don't work. That means that they are working because we don't have these existing diseases, like measles coming back into play. There's a reason why we didn't have a bunch of cases of measles before, is because we were giving children measles vaccines. You got to think about like correlation versus causation. And it is just really interesting to see people really debating their opinion over actual fact. And again, these debates are not monitored. They're not monitored or moderated, moderated, my bad. So how do you expect to have a conversation at best with with a full-blown fascist? You're just like, you have every right to be upset about having a conversation with someone who doesn't think you should exist. That's crazy. That's literally insane. That is insane. Also, another part of like this being kind of rage baity, we'll say, is because these clips that are getting clipped are only being passed within their echo chambers on social media. So it's not provoking human understanding on the other side. It is the right wing owning the libs, owning the woke left, Charlie Kirk owning college students. That's not going to help anyone see the other side. That's not going to promote someone to go watch the full video. People on social media who see clips of stuff, I can't remember the last time I saw a clip of something was like, I have to go watch the full video. People don't do that. They watch the clip and move on with their lives, or they'll send it to their friends who send it to their friends who send it to their friends. And it's this, again, this echo chamber of where your video was not supposed to end up, but did end up. And that's my issue with Jason Lee. I hate you, Jason Lee. I hate you, Jason Lee. You're terrible. Sorry. Anyways. Jubilee Media, you're disappointing and you need to stop making this content. You have the opportunity to do something really good within our country because you have so many eyes on you. You do. You have the opportunity to truly make a difference, and you are making the wrong difference. You're shifting us to the right as a collective, and I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with it, and it's really annoying, not gonna lie. It really is. So that was all my notes I had. More of a frustration with Jason Lee as a whole because you are the CEO of the company. You have the most say. You control where the content goes. Why are you not doing more? And that's all I have to tell you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I know this was a little bit of a jumbled video, but I was annoyed today, to be honest with you. I was annoyed. And I was annoyed with this video. I was annoyed with the contents of the video. And yeah. Peace, love, and happiness. And I will talk to you later. Bye.